Well, good morning, everyone. We are about to hear from the California Secretary of State. For those of you who can take your seats, please do. My name is Terrance. I am the president of the California Lawyers Association, and I also wear another hat that I'm proud of, especially in light of the Secretary of State who is here, who has worked so closely with African American Bar Associations. I'm the current director of Region 9 of the National Bar Association, and also a vice president with the California Association of Black Lawyers, which was co-founded by her late husband. The California Secretary of State is the first African American to serve in this capacity. She is also the fifth African American in California history elected to serve statewide in the great state of California. She is a former professor and a teacher of Africana Studies. It is because of her incredible legislation that California became the first state in the United States to require diversity and inclusion education training in its schools. It is because of this important legislation that she put through that I, during my time growing up, was able to learn about my history and the important contributions of those who came before me. As we were getting ready for this wonderful program, I began to reflect on all of the many times that our incredible Secretary of State has been honored. Just 2 weeks ago, she was honored by the National Bar Association in San Diego at the Gertrude Rush Convention for her important contributions in protecting civil rights and the rule of law. During her time as Secretary of State, she has withstood numerous attacks on our democracy here in the great state of California. She has stood against an administration that has been sometimes hostile to those efforts to protect our right to vote, to protect our ability to advocate ourselves in the legislative process. I also reflected on a few years ago when we had the opportunity through the Charles Houston Bar Association to honor our Secretary of State with the Kamala Harris Women of Excellence Award for her important contributions in using her voice as a voice crying out for justice, crying out for civility, and crying out for righteousness. And this is something that she has exemplified during her more than 4-decade career as an educator, as a champion for civil rights, as a legislator, and now protecting our system as the Secretary of State. We had an opportunity to have some additional conversation just before we came here, and we realized that there were some points of intersection here. One of my favorite teachers in high school who had a profound impact on my life, Mary Boykin, she taught me how to write, she taught me how to advocate for myself, was her best friend. Another one of my favorite professors at Cornell University, who was one of the great thinkers as it relates to African American history and sociology, Dr. James Turner from Cornell University, was also one of her friends. She has impacted the lives of so many people, not only mine, but so many people throughout the country because of her willingness to fight for justice and her tireless advocacy to make sure that all of our voices are heard and our right to vote is protected. Without further ado, I am so proud to bring to you one of the great leaders of our state and one of the great minds as it relates to African American history and consciousness, none other than the great Secretary of State. Thank you so much.